In Malone, Bear Hill Correctional Facility is permanently closing on March 11th after docs reported in November that the closure was based on available beds, physical infrastructure, program offerings, and more. All 293 doc staff assigned to Bear Hill will be offered positions at other facilities. I spoke with the vice president with NYSCOBA, the union that represents corrections officers, about this. Here's our conversation.
Since the announcement of the executive closure of up to 3 facilities in the budget, sent shockwaves through the facility. It seems like we're going through this almost every, between January and April in the executive budget, almost yearly in the North Country. And we've been spared a few years, fortunately, but, it hurts morale in the area. It's always the fear of where am I going to go working? And then the ultimate goal is it's lost community jobs. Bear Hill closure, now it's a loss of probably approximately 300 jobs in the North Country, basically forever, unless something changes with the facilities. But, we have so many closed facilities in the area over the last, 15, 16 years that they're still sitting dormant or, falling apart. Places like Ogdensburg, Line Mountain, Gabriel's, Chateauguay, the Clinton Annex, just to name a few, Mount McGregor many years ago as well. So it's tough for the facility, no fault of their own why it's closing. It's nothing they could have done differently. They couldn't have been better at their jobs. It's just, unfortunately, it's a numbers game. And that was, they drew the short straw, so to speak. So it hurts the morale of the facility, the correction officers, their families, many of the staff that work there, because there's also a lot of civilian staff that, we don't represent, but some of them are family members of correction officers either at that facility or nearby facilities. So it's a tough transition, and people started leaving the facility on transfers, early December, right before the holidays. So it's bad timing, always never a good time to, get relocated, unfortunately. But, that time of year is definitely a little extra tough because you don't know when you're transferring or where. You get a notice of maybe a couple weeks, sometimes a little bit more, and it could have been across the street. Some people got transferred, back home to Ogdensburg from when they were left due to Ogdensburg closure. Very few, a couple people to Clinton Correctional. And then we had some people transfer way down south that were actually from that area. They had taken a promotion up in the North Country and then transferred back home with the closure announcement.
Were corrections officers able to choose where they're able to go from Bear Hill?
Per se, we have a negotiated reassignment list that we use. You can preference 1 through 8 facilities on that.
And the 2 other prisons that are within a few miles of Bear Hill, one of them's medium security, one of them maximum security. What are the key differences between the 2 from an employee perspective? In other words, how big of a shift would this be to transition to working at a different corrections facility?
Franklin's a similar facility. Some of the OMH levels are different and a little bit of the nuances, the daily. Franklin will be a very large medium facility now. They're well over 1,000 inmates, possibly 1,200. The numbers change daily. I don't get updates on those specifically daily, but Franklin's going to be, high, very high inmate population. And then Upstate Correctional is the largest RRU in the state. And then also part of it is SHU, the Special Rehabilitation Unit, for, the few there that are that. Upstate is, a maximum security facility, doing, the RRU program. It's very different from working a medium. Some people love it because you're a lot busier to the day. The inmates need you to bring them their food, they're escorted everywhere, where the mediums are more of a dorm setting, obviously, and they escort themselves, or they're followed maybe, or they have people in the walkways that watch them, more of a group versus a lot slower, more restricted movement at the maximum. And like they eat in their cells, they have recs in the back of their cells, but they do have to go to programming and escorted and things like that with the HALT Act that was passed several years ago. So it's a lot more labor intensive at Upstate Correctional.
Okay. We're talking about almost 300 employees having to transition and move their jobs elsewhere. Can you walk me through what that actually looks like as far as commute differences, as far as how this is affecting officers' families, and what this transition has really been like for the last few months and what it will look like?
It's, they have to integrate into the current facility they're at. Obviously, due to things that happened last year, we're very, very short on staff across the region. I think we're approximately 650 COs short, and that probably is a low number in the area. So the 169, I believe, was the number from Bear Hill for just correction officers integrating into those facilities. There was definitely the holes for them, but they have to get what's left over for the jobs, figure out the new routine of the facility, how the shifts work, get to know their new coworkers, the layouts. Some people are commuting from Malone now to Adirondack Correctional Facility, which is an hour and a half plus away, depending on the weather. But there was a good amount of people that did get to work, go to Franklin, upstate. Some people went actually closer to home and got back to Ogdensburg, with Riverview Correctional Facility being in Ogdensburg. And then the sergeants, same. We had, like I said, we had a couple go back down to the southern area where they were promoted out of. And then the rest of the people were able to stay in the North Country. They might have to travel a little bit farther than they were, but no one had to go hours from home necessarily in that aspect for them.
You spoke a little bit about morale among officers and employees. What would corrections officers like to see moving forward from docks, and what would help support them moving forward?
Time off, everyone gets either 4 to 6 hours depending on where they're at. Most employees have vacations almost in any job you have, especially government work. We have contracts and things like that, and it's been frozen, or no vacations have been allowed since, March 11th, give or take, if not sooner, of last year. That takes a toll on you after a while, especially like Franklin Correctional Facility has been working 60 plus hours a week for well over a year now. That's not sustainable. That's not healthy. Very hard to even get a day off, and you're working 60 hours a week. That amounts to over 1,000 hours a year in overtime. That's a lot. That's a toll on a family, let alone a person, mentally and health wise. So we need staff. We did just have the biggest academy show up on Sunday down in Albany. 132 recruits showed up. So that's a little bit positive. Hopefully those numbers can continue, but we're so far short that it's hard for our recruiters, even though they're doing an amazing job out in the field. The law enforcement market is tough because everybody's short across the country, let alone New York State. And, we're trying to build back up, being thousands short. It's not easy. Also, closure announcements yearly in the budget really doesn't help recruitment. If you're seeing an area facility close and you're in the Malone area and you're like, well, they just closed Bear Hill a couple of years ago. They closed Mariah. They closed the Clinton Annex. They closed Ogdensburg. You're going to maybe look for other work because you don't know what jails are next. It doesn't look like there's any currently in the budget for this year. So hopefully that's, moving forward, we can build off that and, get some people to actually come in and take the job, because staffing and safety are two biggest concerns. And unfortunately, we can't just negotiate staffing or force people to take the job. Where if the job becomes more desirable and people are talking about the job again, oh, they get, their 6 weeks a year vacation and things like that. The best recruiters used to be correction officers themselves, and that's just not happening, unfortunately, right now, due to the work-life balance is a major part of it, and then some of the violence or the fear of the unknowing of exposures that we've had a significant rise in over the last, say, year and a half or so.
And according to Docs, there are more than 650 vacant staff positions available in correctional facilities located in Franklin, Clinton, and Essex counties. And the department will be able to ensure no staff are laid off. Docs says it will work closely with various bargaining units to provide staff with opportunities for priority placement. Again, Bear Hill is set to close on March 11th.